What's going on, YouTube? I'm going to do a review on my 2020 YXZ XTR. I'm going to show you a couple of things that are good and a few of the bad things about it. A couple of the things I've upgraded on it that was not, I didn't really like from the factory. One would be the exhaust. It just didn't have a whole lot of tone to it. It's kind of a dead sounding. Wasn't real big on it. And this new Trinity sounds really good. Not had it on there real long, but I really like the Trinity. One bad thing about right here, these fenders are pretty cheap. I mean, not necessarily cheap, but the way they're designed, they break really easy. And they're like almost $400 a piece, I believe. So probably not going to replace that unless I break both. And I've also thought about just bobbing it off right here, just cutting that fender out, save from having to even worry about it. A couple of the things I've replaced. One would be the factory clutch, which was really good. It lasted about, let's say about 1,000 miles, 1,100 miles. But we do a lot of slower pace trail riding, so kind of expected the clutch on and off a lot. So 1,000 miles was plenty for me. I thought that was pretty good, honestly. And let's see, we just spent a lower control arm on the front here recently, which was, I wouldn't say anything was the factory's fault. We hit something very hard one day, and you can see this brace here, it's pushed it back and bent that lower A-arm on the frame side. Not sure how well y'all can see that, but the other one over here is still good. This piece is flat. We have bent, both the front axles are bent, not broken. Also bent a rear just recently, did replace it. Got a brand new rear on the driver's side. So it's all good now. It's honestly been very reliable for what I was expecting. I've heard a lot of side-by-sides have a lot of issues, always having to replace parts, but I mean, had zero motor issues. It's run perfect ever since I got it. No transmission issues other than having to replace that clutch. It was just slipping. Never left it stranded. Full drive works great. We did add in a radio, some speakers. It's actually not how these are supposed to fit. It's supposed to fit the older model, like the 16, 17 models, and the roof. But I figured them up and mounted them on that bar, and they're right above your head to hear them really good. I do have a cage on the way, so I have these harnesses. Gonna wait for all that to come in before we put them on, just so I ain't got to do it twice. And these brackets, supposed to have a bracket that fits back here because of that. I don't know if you can see it. The angle in that bar is different on the older or the newer models. We do have some the Super ATV bars here, and they got this skid plate that runs all the way underneath, about halfway, I guess, what they cover on the belly. And we have, I believe it's a 1/2 inch, what's the name of them? Factory UTV skid plates. Got the full skid plate deal on that. Everything except the A-arms, all the way around to the back. I guess that would be another bad thing. about it. The factory skid plates were pretty junk. I have one here to show you. It completely ripped in two on that back side, right underneath the motor. As you can see there, chewed off quite a bit. And they had a lot of rocks flying up right there underneath the motor, which we ride a lot of rocky, hilly trails. I made this for the rear diff because that was the first thing that come off. That factory skid plate tore the whole very rear piece off completely. So we got that all fixed up. But the XTR comes with that winch, the bumper and everything, and it also has, I don't know what models has them, but those small little spotlights in there. You wouldn't think it. Those things are awesome. There is no need for a light bar on this thing. It has awesome headlights. Put a set of 30-inch carnivores on it. No, not much bigger, but it's also an equal size tire. I'd like the looks a little better. Not had any trouble out of the drive shafts. I've heard some people breaking this joint back here, but I've not had any trouble out of it yet. All the diff's been good. No problem locking in front diff or anything. It runs cool. Never had any problems with overheating. It's also just been a awesome little ride. I would say we've had it, it's just under 1,300 miles put on it. It's been absolutely great. We got a cage on the way. We got some Texera low ray arms for the front. They're supposed to be coming. They've been on order for about 3 or 4 weeks now, so hopefully anytime, but I'm not sure. It's been a good ride. There ain't no doubt about that. It's been very reliable. And if you're in the market for one, I know there's a lot of better side-by-sides out there. You could say more power, more suspension, whatever, but these things are just so fun. It doesn't, if you're not looking to be competitive against somebody else, I mean, it doesn't get any funner to drive something that's got this weight to ratio, or weight to power ratio, with a manual shifted. It's a blast. Oh, also I got the ECU out. You can't see it. I got the cover off, or cover on. The ECU is out for tuning. Waiting on that to come back. Should be back beginning of this week. Sending it off to Alba. They're getting it tuned for this exhaust and their air intake spacer up there. Can't really see it, it's black, but you got that exhaust and the intake spacer. I got them tuning it for me, so it should be back any time now. Hoping that makes a good little difference in the power. I mean, the whole power thing, you can get these things, make turbo kits for them. Yamaha does, and you can get just as much power as all these stock turbo units that they make today. The Can-Ams, the Turbo S's, all that. You can get all just as much power, if not more, out of them if you build these up. But it's been a great ride. I really enjoy it. I haven't got to ride it as much here recently because this A-arm's been waiting for quite some time. But, I mean, no issues hardly at all with it from what I expected. We've not been nice to this thing either. We live in the southeast and we ride a lot of rocky trails, a lot of big hills. It's been bottomed out a bazillion times, which is the biggest reason that skid plate went out. If you ride the dunes or something, that skid plate would probably be perfectly fine. Anyway, as I was saying, I really like the YXC. It's been an awesome machine for us. It's exactly what I wanted. It's very fun. It's pretty quick. It's just been an absolute blast to drive. It's been reliable. I mean, it's been awesome. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything else. It's exactly what I wanted. I mean, we've done very little modifications to it. I mean, the stuff for the underneath to keep it shielded up. We've lifted the suspension up a little bit, tightened it down just a hair. Got a little more ground clearance out of it, but that's about it. I mean, it's been an awesome machine. I'd highly recommend it to, I mean, anybody. I mean, if you're wanting to do slow rock crawling, as if you probably know about like these, they don't do that very well. But you can get gear reduction kits for them, and it helps a lot. But we may do that in the future, but I just like the high speed stuff so much. I don't really want to lose any mile an hour on it, because that's just one of my favorite things about it, is doing high speed track style of riding. We do both, but it's just one of my favorite things. But I appreciate you watching, checking out the video, and I'll see you on the next one.